So people typically view Ghost Mourner as a worse version of Effect Veiler and Imperm, but at the same time, sometimes it is slightly better, and today I'll try to figure out when it is better and when it is worse. So first of all, it's a level 3 zombie wind monster with 1800 defense, so not the best typing because you can't search it off of Goblin Zombie because the defense stat is way too high, and also you cannot excavate it off of Chaos Ruler, which is something that you can do with Effect Veiler. And to make matters worse, it is once per turn, unlike both Effect Veiler and Imperm. It's also kind of like a trigger effect, which really requires your opponent to perform a specific action, so it is reactive, unlike Veiler and Imperm, which you can kind of use at any moment, although in order to use Veiler, you have to be on your opponent's main phase, and to use Imperm, you have to control no cards on your field. Well, as a hand shop, obviously, otherwise you can use it at any time if it's all reset on the field. And again, just like Veiler, it's a monster, so it loses to Call by the Grave and Triple Tactic Talons, but at the same time, the fact that it's a monster, and a tuner monster, and even a level 3 monster, could actually work in your favor if you're playing decks that utilize the Brave Token strategy. It could be pretty good to normal summon and either make the Needle Fiber with any other monster, or make the Shooting Riser Dragon with the level 4 Brave Token, or make Baron using the level 7 Griffin Rider. And also, you can use one copy on your opponent's turn and then one copy on your own turn when your opponent summons a monster that has a mandatory trigger effect on your own turn. You have turn player priority, so you have to activate your trigger effects first, and then your opponent activates all their trigger effects first, meaning that your opponent's trigger effects will resolve before you. So in other words, if your opponent summons Tri-Brigade, Sharaig the Ominous Omen on your turn, the Ghost Mourner will have to be Chainlink 1, and then the Sharaig will be Chainlink 2, so your monster or your card, whatever, still gets banished. However, it is completely different with Artifact Scythe because it is a mandatory effect, so it doesn't really care who is the turn player. Artifact Scythe will always be in Chainlink 1, and then your Ghost Mourner will be in Chainlink 2, allowing you to negate Artifact Scythe with Ghost Mourner. And that is the beauty about this card, the fact that you can negate Artifact Scythe on your own turn, even if you control cards, because obviously Veiler couldn't do anything because you're not on your opponent's main phase, you're on your own turn, and Imper might be useless if you, let's say, you place the card on the field, and then your opponent tries to go with, like, the TG Wonder Magician into Artifact Dagda, well, the Artifact Scythe that was set from the Dagda. And another relevant thing is the fact that once the Scythe or whatever monster gets negated by Ghost Mourner leaves the field, your opponent takes damage equal to the attack of that monster, meaning that it randomly opens the door to randomly burning your opponent in time, which can be extremely annoying in Game 3. That also makes it so if your opponent is going first and you have Ghost Mourner, your opponent might be forced to commit to, like, a worse move of, like, making less negates and kind of having to take a lot of time to play, which is not really in his favor because he's gonna get burnt to death if he links off the monster or does anything with it, so he really will be misplaying against this kind of card if there is a lot of pressure time-wise. Anyways, I would like to clarify the fact that even though I have covered a lot of positive aspects about this card, I still don't believe it should be main decked at 3. I think the correct number to play this card at would be maybe 1 or 2. You don't necessarily have to play a single copy of this card if you want to. 0 is fine, and you should only play this card if you're already playing like 9 to 12 whatever other hand shops in your deck, so this is definitely not priority number 1. And also remember the fact that this card is only good in certain decks, so if your deck cannot abuse the fact that this is a level 3 tuner monster, this card might just not do enough for you, and therefore you should actually look at other options. So that's pretty much all I had to say for this video. Let me know your thoughts about this card in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.